What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us. This is the Monday night football show. It is myself and Ryan here at the minute. Colin should be joining us shortly. And we are talking international football, Ryan.
We are international football.
And we're going to
No
try
Premier
to
League.
focus on no Premier League. Oh, it's been depressing during the day, but fantastic on the evening with Eurosport Norway, TV2, Max. I don't know what it's like in the UK, Ryan, for the football coverage, but there's been loads on over here.
It's not too bad. You get to see most games, highlights. The main games are on TV, obviously.
Yeah, it's not too bad then, not too bad. It's it's been definitely a really eventful time, Ryan. Eventful weekend. I mean, you'll see in the breaking news bar with our new layout, Ryan, obviously in the background there. People will see in the breaking news bar that, for example, Wayne Rooney now, Ryan, is tied with Bobby Charlton on 49 career goals for England. Which I have no idea what's going on. It appears the referees blew the full-time whistle. But yeah, Wayne Rooney now tied with Bobby Charlton on 49 international goals. Tomorrow night he has a chance to become England's record goal scorer. Definitely something I think everyone watching will hope he can achieve, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan still muted himself for a minute. I'll keep talking. Basically, over the weekend, also Holland, they have a very aging squad and they are cracks to stand ashore. They definitely struggling to qualify. Italy also, there's been a lot of pressure for them to drop Andrea Pirlo. He actually did it last night. Was it the right decision to drop Pirlo? I'm unsure. They looked like they were missing that passing presence in central midfield. They definitely struggled during the game. Anyone who actually watched the game will no doubt agree with me. I mean, they won the game 1-0. Buffon with his 150th appearance for Italy, keeping a clean sheet, which is great news for them. There's been a lot of games played. I'm going to run down the scores now. You will see them run across the screen along the bottom, but just quickly: Georgia 1, Scotland 0, Germany 3, Poland 1, Gibraltar 0, Ireland 4, Faroe Islands 1, Northern Ireland 3, Greece 0, Finland 1, Hungary 0, Romania 0, Denmark 0, Albania 0, Serbia 2, Armenia 0, Latvia 1, Czech Republic 2, Turkey 3, Netherlands 0, Iceland 0, Kazakhstan 0, Wales 0, Israel 0, Bosnia 3, Andorra 0, Cyprus 0, Belgium 1, Malta 2, Azerbaijan 2, Norway 2, Croatia 0, Italy 1, Bulgaria 0, Luxembourg 1, Macedonia 0, Ukraine 3, Belarus 1, Spain 2, Slovenia 0, Slovakia 0, Luxembourg 1, Macedonia 0, Ukraine 3, Belarus 1, Spain 2, Slovakia 0, Estonia 1, Lithuania 0, San Marino 0, Estonia, England 6, Switzerland 3, Slovenia 2. Fantastic game. I watched that game. Great game for the neutral. Wow, my words are slurring. Russia 1, Sweden 0, Austria 1, Moldova 0, Montenegro 2, Liechtenstein 0, Armenia 0, Denmark 0, Poland 8, Gibraltar 1. Gibraltar actually scored a goal. Ireland 1, Georgia 0, Scotland 2, Germany 3, Finland 0, Finland 1, Faroe Islands 0, Northern Ireland 1, Hungary 1, Romania 0, Greece 0, and Albania 0, Portugal 1. Wow. That was a lot of goals. Portugal actually scored the winning goal in the 90th minute. What I will say is, on our record here, we have Serbia 2, Armenia 0, which is interesting because Serbia only have 2 points in the league table I looked at. Ryan, are you back?
I was just going to tell you to take a breath after all those results.
I think I need to. So, what I will say, people, obviously I'll just run through them. I'll run through them very quickly. So as you see on our screen, the latest scores are going through. And a couple of games I want to pick out actually, Ryan, before we go and talk about the home nations. Obviously, both of us from the United Kingdom. Germany 3, Poland 1. Fantastic game to watch. Poland weren't that bad. Lewandowski actually had a 1-on-1 when it was 2-1 to Germany, I think it was, and he could have pulled it back 2-all. Could the score been different if he scored that? He went for power, Manuel Neuer with a great save. Let's go down. What else can we pick out? Ryan, can you just check the Serbia-Armenia score? Because we have 2-0 on our records, but obviously before the show started we noticed Serbia only had 2 points. So that wouldn't be possible. Turkey 3, Netherlands 0. One of the breaking news stories in our on the screen you will be seeing is the fact that Holland are struggling to make it to the finals. Definitely something which should shock Europe, Ryan.
Definitely. So yeah, the Serbia. You say it was 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2-0.
So Serbia. Maybe I looked wrong. They had more than 2 points.
Say my notes are wrong. How rude.
Sorry. Norway 2, Croatia 0. What a game this was. I watched this game live. The Norwegian crowd was right behind them. Martin Odegaard didn't get on again, by the way. People who, obviously, when you think of Norway at the minute, people from the United Kingdom, etc., straight away you might think of Martin Odegaard. In the 2 games over the weekend, Norway won them both. Martin Odegaard was an unused substitute in them both, Ryan. And the manager has come out and said, whilst he's not playing for Real Madrid, he won't be playing for us.
Which is rightly so.
Yeah, fantastic. Same Berger, who is playing at the minute, and the Malmo midfielder, who people might know as he scored the goals which knocked Celtic out. He scored 2 goals last night, and the second one was absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you've seen it, Ryan. He was on his right foot, about 6 yards out. Feinted to shoot, put the defender on his arse, and just rolled his foot over the top of the ball, dragged it on his left foot, and tucked it away. Beautiful goal. It was actually Chorluka, the former Tottenham defender, who we put down.
I only seen the highlights of the game, so I have seen the goals.
Yep, there you go.
It's interesting to see how Norway are going to progress.
If they get to the final, if they play like they have played in the last 2 games, they will go home early, because we have not been good. The only reason Norway have won the last 2 games is because of the lack of quality in the opposition. What I will do, whilst we're talking about these games, on the screen now, you will see the group stages just going through. They will just work their way through as we are talking, and then we'll stop them on the Wales and England groups, because there are two groups in particular we want to talk about. Just going back through though, Ryan, just through a couple of them. The fact that Italy only beat Bulgaria 1-0, Pirlo didn't play. Italy could have got a couple of more goals, but they looked very subject defensively, Ryan.
They did, but they've always been defensive, Italy. So
no, I mean, they were shocking defensively. Sorry,
but that's the issue. They can be defensive, but then eventually you'll get broken down.
What I would say as well is there was a red card for De Rossi, and a red card for a Bulgarian player, which the name goes past me at the minute. Both they were shocking red cards. De Rossi went and his knee was high, like as he's running for the ball, he kind of need him in the arse to kind of give him a little bit of a dead leg. Was it a red card? I don't think so. It was more he stroked him. Sorry, the Bulgarian player did that to De Rossi, and then when De Rossi dropped to the floor like a sack of potatoes, he decided to kick the Bulgarian player on the back of the leg. Now, you get kicked more walking down the street if you accidentally bang into somebody, and that guy went down like a sack of potatoes. It's so annoying to see, Ryan. There was 2 red cards, and both of them shouldn't have been given. But again, it's just play acting.
It's very reminiscent of when David Beckham got sent off for kicking, what's his name, many years ago.
It was less than that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the next game, just looking down, obviously Spain picked up, well, I knew they did it twice. We've got Spain 2, Slovakia 0, twice on the notes, Ryan, after you just told me not to mock your notes.
The good notes.
The good notes, yeah, call it. Armenia 0, Denmark 0. That's a game which I watched earlier, and I did stay awake through it. I'm not too sure how, because it was a shocking game of football. And the one game I wish I did watch was Poland 8, Gibraltar 1. I don't know if I wanted to watch it for the 8 goals Poland scored or the fact Gibraltar scored, Ryan.
It's definitely, Gibraltar, they're not a nation that are always going to challenge, but for them to score 2 goals...
1 goal. Oh, in the...
1 goal, 2 goals, 2 goals overall.
Yeah.
Fantastic for them.
I mean, as the groups go through, you'll see that Austria top in the group with Sweden in second, Russia in third at the minute. The next group here, we've got Italy atop now with 18, Norway in second with 16, Croatia in third with 15. They're running away with these groups and 3 teams. The next group you have Portugal are topping it, and you can't quite see the points on that. I do apologise for that one. Unfortunately, a couple of the groups hadn't been updated because the matches had just been finished. So I had to search elsewhere for them ones. Then you got Czech Republic atop in that group with Iceland, Turkey. Then you've got Wales atop in their group, Ryan. I think we can actually move on to that. I'll drop that off and put the Wales group up permanently, Ryan. So you got Belgium in second place. Now I saw something today, Ryan, about Eden Hazard, and the manager said Hazard was by far the worst player on the pitch, and he thought about substituting him. Now, yes, Hazard scored the winner. This was against against Israel.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come up to 60 minutes, 70 minutes, now yes, Hazard can produce that brilliance, which he did end up doing. But should he have took him off? Because as he said, I was thinking about subbing him, then why didn't you do it? He's basically saying if it wasn't Hazard, he would have subbed him because he was playing so bad.
I don't know if it's management psychology for him putting it out there saying, if a player's not playing to their standard, I will think about taking them off just because they are who they are.
Yeah.
Because he didn't do it, he's failed in that. So, who knows?
Who knows? Just quickly, good evening to Daniel, CCFC, and FM Steve. Thank you for tuning in, you lads. Really appreciate it. But you've got Wales there topping it, undefeated, Ryan. The only team in the group to be undefeated, 1-5, drew 3. They scored 9 in the 8 games, which obviously isn't the best. They're the second lowest. There's only Andorra who scored less, but they've only conceded 2 goals, Ryan, in 8 games. I mean, that is an impressive record.
It goes to show how they've been setting up in their games. They're setting up not to massively outscore, but they're going out there to win.
Well, I mean, when you go... Sorry, Ryan, go on.
It's what they've done. They've won 5, they've drew their 3, and they've not lost a game, which you look at those teams in their group, and they've got the likes of Andorra, who aren't the best. They've got no points, but Bosnia are no pushovers. Israel are no pushovers. They got their draw there, 0-0. And Belgium, who you would expect to be top in this group, are sitting in second.
Well, I mean, when you go down, the fact that they've scored 9, then you've got Belgium scored 17, Israel 14, Bosnia and Cyprus both on 12 and Andorra on 3. Yet, Ryan, they have a +7 goal difference. And there's only Belgium with a better goal difference. So that shows how strong they've been in the terms that Israel, it doesn't matter that they've scored 14. They've scored 5 goals more, but they've conceded, obviously, 7 goals more. So I think, even though Gareth Bale is dragging them through goals-wise, I think you can't look past the likes of Ashley Williams in defence, who is just improving year by year at the minute, right? And I think Wales need 1 point in the final 2 games, and one of them games is Andorra at home. It looks like they're going to France. I mean, you can't say it until they're there, but it looks like they're going to France, Ryan, which is an amazing achievement.
I think they're definitely going. And to get this one-man team out of the picture, because Wales are by far nowhere near a one-man team. Bale is their best player, but he's not their only players. Like you said, they've got Ashley Williams, they've got Aaron Ramsey. They have some amazing youth players that will come through in the next few years. Harry Wilson, I believe it is, at Liverpool. So Wales are looking like they're going to be a great football team in the future.
I mean, I really do hope they can just finish this group off remaining unbeaten. So I just think it's going to be a great record to take in. I think Belgium are going to qualify, and it is, as you say, Belgium were tipped as one of the teams who was more than likely going to actually win the championship. They were touted outsiders to win it. They have only conceded 3 goals, Ryan, so let's not point at Belgium and say, oh, they're going to lose, or so they're going to have a bad time. You can say Belgium are playing very average at the minute, and yet they've only conceded 3, they've only lost 1.
I think they're a team that they have a lot of quality in their team, but then it's getting them together in a tournament. Like in the World Cup, a lot of people tipped them to go out and win it because they had all these quality players that are coming through. If the manager can get all these players gelled together as one great team, I could see them going far in France if they qualify.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how them teams do, and then obviously there's chances Israel can go through as one of the best placed, third place teams, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure on exactly how it works. But we'll jump over to the England group, Ryan. So just chuck that on the screen now. You can see that there. So England have qualified. They, as Belgium, only conceded 3 goals, but England have scored 27, Ryan. Sorry, 24. And played 7, won 7. They play Switzerland tomorrow night at Wembley. Now, Switzerland played against Slovenia, Ryan, yesterday, I think it was. I'm lost with my days. I watched that game live as well. And Switzerland scored 2. They were 2-0 down. They scored 2 within a couple of minutes. But before that, a better team than Slovenia could have put 5 or 6 past them. They were dreadful.
But the issue is they're one of these teams where one game they'll play dreadfully, and then they'll come up against England and they'll put up a good fight like they did in the game that we've played them already in this qualifying stages. So it's going to be interesting to see what the game's going to be like tomorrow.
Definitely. I mean, when you look at San Marino, I mean, they haven't scored a goal, but it's shocking when you saw they've only conceded 25. Compared to the likes of Andorra and Gibraltar and stuff, they actually have a decent record. They haven't scored a goal, but they got a point. I think it was against Estonia.
I think
it
so.
was Estonia. I might be wrong. Well, I would assume it is because they're the only team that has drew a game in the group.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. Our knowledge. So they've got a point. Well done, San Marino. I actually want to put this to you, Ryan, just why we're talking about this. San Marino, Andorra, Gibraltar, Malta, Lithuania maybe, Liechtenstein, them type, maybe not Lithuania, that's a bit disrespectful to them, they're slightly better, slightly.
Malta, did you say?
Malta, yeah. Should these nations take part in a pre-qualifying? Watching England on Saturday, Ryan, I think there was only one thing. Was Saturday? Was seriously, I'm so lost. It's ridiculous. There was only one thing that you were wondering. Well, it was how many can they score? Will Rooney break the record? And then it was literally just looking at how the players are performing fitness-wise, and then the pitch was terrible, so you can't even judge players' skills and stuff on the pitch. I mean, Shelby had a good game, but can you really say that when he's playing against Gibraltar?
San Marino.
Same jump.
Well, it's like Shelby said, the 2 games he's played for England have been against San Marino, so whether he plays tomorrow against Switzerland, I'm hoping he does because I want to see him against a better team for England.
What was your thoughts on his performance? My opinion on Shelby in that game was he was looking for that special pass too much. Now it did work. Harry Kane's goal was a prime example of that. But there was times, Ryan, where the simple pass across was on. He was going for that 40-50 yard pass.
Yeah, I think he took his playing style that he uses for Swansea too much into the England style of play, which a lot of people don't like it. They say it's defensive, but they never go defensive against San Marino. It's like you said, how many goals are they going to score? Is Rooney going to break the record? And how are they going to play fitness-wise?
I think it was a good idea to take Rooney off. I was very angry at the time because I did want to see him break the record, but the fact that the pitch was terrible, and we all know at the end of Rooney is getting old. He's one of the more old, experienced players in the team, and you don't want him just snagging his foot and just tweaking something and missing the Switzerland game. So I think it was smart by Hudson to take him off. It was a fantastic goal by Harry Kane, Ryan, and Theo Walcott. What an impact!
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're sending on Walcott, who's got the pace, Harry Kane, who's got the goals. San Marino, they may as well have just gone home when those 2 have gone on the pitch.
It's a couple of things. It's frustrating me more and more when you hear Walcott obviously demanding to be a striker and stuff because he's so good coming in from the wing. I tell you what, But this is when I was saying about should they play pre-qualifying, because for example, as they said in the commentary, one of the San Marino players didn't make it to the last 2 away games because he couldn't find cover at his job. Um, it's frustrating. I know it's the big day out for these players, and fantastic. They get to go and play in Wembley. They get to play against the likes of ROONEY and stuff. But it's just I don't want to say a waste of time, but it basically is.
I would personally like to see the teams like San Marino, Gibraltar, Malta, all these low-class nations that never get anywhere in qualifying. They're never going to qualify unless something really weird happens. I'd like to see them in their own competition.
So I don't want to see that, because then you're rewarding them for being shit.
But then that's like saying, what's the point in the Johnson's Paint Trophy? Or you're in the lower leagues, you're not very good. Why should you win another competition?
That's a good point. Well, you've nailed me there, Ryan.
I've left you speechless there.
I'll just let myself out after that one. See, my thought was, you have a, say, 10 team low system. You can have kind of a Johnson's Paint, for example, and the winner of that each couple of years, the following competition qualifying, they go in with the bigger teams. And then the next time, the winner of it again goes in. So, like, that team, if they finish bottom of their group, they drop into it. But if they finish higher than another team within that specific group, then that team would drop into that, and they would stay up for another year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something, if they're put in a competition, you could see teams like Gibraltar, San Marino picking up some wins. You look at their history and you just go, oh, they've lost so many games. How sorry do you feel for them?
I don't.
You want to sit. Well, if you were the manager, I
genuinely think putting them in these lesser like pre-qualifying, it gives them the chance to win games. I mean, if San Marino beat Gibraltar 4 times on the bounce, for example, San Marino get confidence, players get goals, players realise they're actually decent. Fans will come to the game because they're winning. Because, I mean, the San Marino crowd, it wasn't exactly anything
amazing.
Special, I don't think, was it? I mean, you look at Gibraltar. Gibraltar are playing their games in Spain. If San Marino can gather such an audience to come watch the games, they could maybe go and play their games in a different country. You know, like play in Italy, for example, at a bigger stadium. Or just expand their stadium, for example. But they're not getting the crowd. I mean, half the chanting during that game, Ryan, was from 10-year-olds. It was literally a school trip. Do you want to come and watch your national team play because no one else wants to come?
I mean, it's unfortunate for them, and who knows? We may see a bit of change in the future because football seems to be adapting to a lot of things now. So who knows? There may be something that we may see San Marino win a game. We may see Gibraltar win a game.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, and we wait and see.
I'm definitely looking forward to this National League as well to see exactly how that runs, etc. So, something to look forward to.
It's interesting on FM, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we'll find out exactly how it runs in when it's running, see how it's taken, whether people take it seriously, etc. I'm looking forward to it. It's definitely better than watching pointless friendlies when you see like 90 players running on off the pitch during the game.
Yeah.
But we're just going to have a look through some of the other groups as well, just have a quick chat about them. We were hoping Colin would get on and join us so we could talk a bit about the CONCACAF qualifying.
Yeah, I think we should talk about how dreadfully Netherlands have been playing this qualifying.
You can do it. I've genuinely not seen enough to talk about it.
But from the game that I seen against Turkey, was it Turkey?
3-0 defeat.
The 3-0 defeat. It just, I mean, since Van Gaal has left, and this is nothing for Van Gaal, me being a Man United fan, Netherlands, they have not looked the same team. There's been a complete change of style since it's now Gus Hiddink, isn't it, who's now the manager.
I didn't think he was a decent manager when he was the manager of Russia, for example.
No, and they just look so disjointed, as if he's come in going, forget whatever Van Gaal has taught you. He didn't take you very far in the World Cup when he clearly did. You're going to do my way, and my way is the highway, and it is not working.
Can I just say, sorry, I just want to jump in and say Serbia do have 4 points.
They do.
Yeah, I was wrong when I was saying 2.
Ah, well.
Also, Holland, as the people will quickly see on the screen there, they're actually in 4th at the minute. So that's actually a massive, massive shock to see them that far down.
It's nothing against the other teams in those groups because you've got the likes of Iceland and Czech Republic who are no real pushovers. They can give a challenge, but when you look at the Netherlands and the players they've got and the history, and they've never won a World Cup, but they've got the players who should be challenging and they should be up at the top of the group.
Well, I mean, Czech Republic have 19 points and Iceland have 19 points. So them 2 teams are qualified. And that is confirmed as qualified now. In fact, I'm actually looking now. So there's only 5 teams in this group, Ryan. I'll stick it on the screen now. Just bear with me just a second, please, people. It'll take a split second just to drop it into the right position for you guys to see. So you can see that now there, Ryan.
Yep.
So you have 5 games have been played. Now, am I right to say that group's finished? If they play each team twice, that's only 8 games.
So 10 games, they can get to 16 points. So if Turkey win their next game,
it's finished, isn't it? There's only 5 teams in the group, so there's only
So Netherlands can really only hope for that 3rd place. No, they can't.
It's finished.
So it's finished, yeah.
4 teams they play, times 2, 8 games. So Netherlands are out. Why hasn't that's been reported as Netherlands are struggling? No, Netherlands are out.
Wow. Big turn of events. You don't expect that.
Well, I think looking at the teams, I would assume that the rating system would have said Netherlands were like the first team, then Turkey second, Czech Republic, then Iceland, then Latvia. So Czech Republic and Iceland, I would say, have shocked the group because you would have thought Turkey would finish above Czech Republic and Iceland as well. I would have thought.
You would think, but you always get a shock in this qualifying. You always get a shock in the actual competition. So who knows? England have missed out before. The Netherlands miss out now.
England missed out not long ago as well, didn't they?
Oh, according to FM Steve, there's 6 in Netherlands group.
Well, not the screenshot I got given.
Yeah, what website?
Kazakhstan at bottom. I got mine off Google, so let's all blame Google. FM Steve, just email Google for me. Oh well, so there is 2 more games left.
And you wonder why I love the BBC.
I know. You'll see a couple of the images people are from the BBC because Google hadn't updated the groups. But hey.
Oh dear.
James has only said, who's your guest next Monday? Back with a bang, special guest. I think that's James saying he wants to come on as a guest. I'll see how much he pays me. Serbia have 1 point. No, they have 4 points now, Steve, because they picked up a victory over this weekend. So Serbia have 4 points now. The groups are messed up, it appears, because like I say, I searched as soon as the games were finished. I went online to get the groups. Some websites were updated, some were not. So there was times where I was saying to Ryan, have these played 7 or have they played 8? What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm just going to quickly get ourselves through all the CONCACAF and just quickly go through them results, Ryan. And there were some international friendlies over the weekend played. Portugal played France with the 1-0 victory for France. Venezuela 0, Honduras 3. The US 2, Peru 1. Argentina 7, Bolivia 0. Panama 0, Uruguay 1. Mexico 3, Trinidad Tobago 3. That sounds like a good game to be at. Brazil 1, Costa Rica 0. Chile 3, Paraguay 2. And then France have played Serbia tonight, have they? It says France, Serbia, but there's no score. That's Ryan's notes again.
That's not mine.
Here we go. Excuses are flying. Right, we have Colin has put the World Cup qualifying, CONCACAF and the AFC, which is the Asian Football Federation side of things. So you have St. Vincent 2, Aruba 0. Grenada 1, Haiti 3. Curacao 0, El Salvador 1. Canada 3, Belize 0. Antigua and Barbuda. Why? Where's Colin when you need him?
Antigua and Barbuda 1, Guatemala 0, Jamaica 2, Nicaragua 3, and Guam and Oman. The score's not on there yet.
Ryan just sacked me. African Cup of Nations qualifying. Djibouti 0, Togo 2, Comoros Islands 0, Uganda 1. Go on,
Seychelles.
Ryan. Is that Seychelles?
Yeah.
I thought that was fake play. Seashells on the seashore. Seychelles 1, Ethiopia 1, Tanzania 0, Nigeria 0, Rwanda 0, Ghana 1, Burundi 2, Niger 0, Nambia 0, Senegal 2, Botswana 1, Burkina Faso 0. Really? Sao Tome Principe 0, Morocco 3, Libya 1, Tunisia 0. Go on, Ryan, you can do the next list.
Guinea-Bissau 2, Congo 4, South Sudan 1, Equatorial Guinea 0, Gabon 4, Sudan 0, Mauritania 3, South Africa 1, Mauritius 1, Mozambique 0, Madagascar 0, Angola 0, Central African Republic 0, Dr. Congo 0, Swaziland 2, Malawi 2, Zimbabwe 1, Guinea 1, Chad 1, Egypt 5, Benin 1, Mali 1, Kenya 1, Zambia 2, Gambia 1, Gambia 0, Cameroon 1, Libya 1, Cape Verde Islands 2, Sierra Leone 0, and Ivory Coast 0.
We miss Colin.
Yeah.
Come back soon. But yeah, that's a rundown of the fixtures. With no Premier League football, it's literally grabbing at straws at times with Europa League, European qualifier. Wow. Do you know what? I'm going to bed after this show. my mouth is all over. I literally just seem to make up what we're talking about. Europa League qualifying, eh? But yeah, there's been, obviously, the breaking news is the fact that Wayne Rooney has a chance tomorrow night, Ryan, to beat Bobby Charlton's record. Will he go down as the greatest England striker of all time, Ryan? Bear in mind, Bobby Charlton was a midfielder.
I definitely think he will. As much a stick as he gets, he may not be the best, but he'll be up there with the best.
I think the abuse he gets, people seem to forget all the records he's broken or he has. And he's been around since he was 16. He's been around for a long, long time. And they all say about longevity and players who come around at the age of 18, 19 and they last till maybe 31, 33, 34. There's not many players who break onto the scene at the top level at the age of 16 and in their 30s are still doing it. Quite a lot of the time people burn out.
Yeah, and I think he'll go on and go on and go on. He'll play for a long time.
Well, as people have said, he can drop back into midfield and he can quite happily be one of the best midfielders in England.
He may well be. He could. I mean, whether he'll turn up to defensive mid, it'll be one of those that will come deep to get the ball.
Deep line playmaker type.
Yep, deep line playmaker type. Be
Yeah,
interested to see where he goes.
Yeah, definitely. Right, FM Steve just says, much I hate Shearer, he should have been better than Rooney. Shearer could have broke. I think Shearer would, not could have. He would be England's all-time record goal scorer if he'd played more times. But obviously Shearer had a few issues with injuries. There was some top quality strikers around at the time, so there was a few times Shearer got left out of the team, etc. So
a lot of people said the same about Owen as well. That he would have been the all-time greatest scorer,
do you know what?
greatest striker.
If you look, he played 89 and he was on 40. Same with Gary Lineker, very, very close. If they'd played as many times, I mean, I think it's very fascinating the fact that Bobby Charlton's played 106 and scored 49, and Rooney has now played 106 and scored 49.
It's coincidence.
Yeah, so fingers crossed, as I say, that Rooney can go on and break it. Because it's something that in our lifetime we can talk about. I mean, you look at how long the Bobby Charlton record stood. So,
exactly.
Definitely something to look forward to. But that's the end of tonight's show, basically because we've run out of stuff to talk about. Premier League's back next week, though, so the excitement will be there. We will know what we're talking about. We will be talking a lot about it. So, Ryan will be excited.
Definitely.
Colin will be back.
Liverpool, Man United.
Oh, well, there you go. James looks like he's invited himself on. West Ham against Newcastle. So, it's Monday Night Football as well. So, fantastic. So, join us on Thursday for the Weekly FM show. Join us tomorrow night if you want for Torvieka Talk. Or join us on next Monday for the Monday Night Football show. Thank you, people.